blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, shit. Oh, Christ. Fuck me in the arse. Okay. Happy New Year, superficial beings. It's Blair. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some truly indispensable tips on how to become a very rich bitch like me. Or, as we say in French, une très riche biche. Oh, did you not know I'm fluent in French? Yes, my mother, God rest her soul, the late Geneviève du Croissant, was of French nobility, so I was raised bilaterally, you know, speaking two languages. Now, before I begin, if you could just subscribe. I mean, if you don't, then I'll wait outside your home until the day that you die, and then replace your funeral song with Fergie's rendition of the US national anthem. In the hopes that her piercing wail will crack open your coffin, and your cold, lifeless body will roll out onto the floor, where it will remain until the flies, rats and maggots slowly but surely gnaw away at your flesh, until all that remains are your rotting bones and the odour of regret. Because all you had to do was fucking subscribe. Rest in peace, my dear. Now, I'm not going to give you a load of dull, overplayed suggestions like get a good education and, you know, invest in Titcoin or Clickcoin or whatever it's called. No, these are going to be realistic, achievable solutions, and most importantly, they require zero talent whatsoever. Because if Taylor Smith can do it with no talent, then so can we. Hear, hear. Tip 1. Where there's a will, there's a way to make money. So this one basically involves befriending lonely old people and manipulating them into writing you into their wills before they conveniently die of old age. / asphyxiation by smothering / broken neck from falling down the stairs. You get the picture. Now, the problem with this one is that you do actually have to spend time with them and, you know, sit and listen to their World War I stories about, you know, getting their legs blown off and watching their friends die and blah, 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 blah. It's like, seriously, is your life that boring that all you can talk about is some minor event that happened in, like, the 80s? Now, I did this once with a very wealthy weapons mogul, who I met when we were both chairing a Man vs. Food charity event to raise awareness of anorexia. Turned out his children had disowned him several years prior, after finding out he listened to Nickelback. So I seized the opportunity and we became friends. Yeah, he used to buy me Chanel, I used to let him rim me, it was give and take. Anyway, after about 2 weeks of friendship, I got bored of waiting for him to offer to write me into his will. So I said, Gerald, honest to God, I am so shocked and upset that you've not offered to write me into your will for when you kick the bucket. If you do not do it, then I simply cannot sustain this friendship. And he was so lonely, bless his little wrinkled scrotum, that it was sort of like taking candy from a baby. More so because he wore adult diapers, but that's beside the point. So he called the lawyers almost immediately and went down the very same day and signed on the dotted line. So then, of course, I had to get rid of him. Obviously. Unfortunately for me, he was in his late 90s with pre-existing heart conditions and a penchant for transvestite midget prostitutes. So, you know, I put 8 and 3 together and hired the filthiest group of transvestite midget prostitutes, who I knew back from, you know, my Vegas days, to give him a heart-stopping performance. Literally, he had a heart attack and died. I think it was probably the Oompa Loompa roleplay that did the trick. Anyway, soon enough I inherited his entire estate, which, after tax, was worth a modest £200 million, so, you know, not bad for 4 weeks' work on my behalf. So yeah, definitely worth seeking out a few vulnerable pensioners if you can. Tip 2. Findom fetish. Now, I was introduced to this through an A-list friend of mine, and before you all start asking, no, I'm not going to name names, because, you know, name dropping is really not what I'm about. Plus, I think it's quite deplorable actually when people out others for their sexual preferences against their will. But what I will say is that he's a controversial R&B singer / alleged paedophile, and his name rhymes with R. Jelly. Anyway, he told me about these websites where people's fetish was to pay other people money. Pay me money, financial domination, fetish, pay money, me, financial fetish, money, pay me money. Hello, where do I sign up? So I signed up to a couple of websites with the username BlackDaddy69. We can all exaggerate a little bit. And fuck me. Bunch of fucking weirdos on these sites, let me tell ya. You know, but I was probably earning upwards of £50,000 a month just for telling a bunch of crusty basement-dwelling geriatrics that their penises are the size of paperclips and that all their money belonged to me. And it was all going so well until one of them found out where I lived and kidnapped me for 8 months. Although, you know, apart from being locked in a broom cupboard for 23 hours a day, it really wasn't as bad as it sounds. Tip 3. Let's go grave robbing. See this watch? This belonged to my great-uncle Geoffrey, who I was very, very close to growing up because he used to masturbate in front of me. Then when I grew older, he sort of turned his attention to my much younger cousins, and things were never the same between us. Although I did always used to tell him how much I admired his watch. Anywho, when he finally popped his clogs at the ripe old age of 163, I was waiting to be contacted by the solicitors to tell me to come and collect the watch, which, you know, any normal person would have assumed he was going to leave to me. And I waited, and I waited. And I thought, for Christ's sakes, the man's been dead for over 2 hours now. How long must I wait to receive my reward? Anyway, I couldn't possibly wait any longer, so I called the solicitors. Turns out the kiddie-fiddling prick wanted to be buried with his special watch. I said, over his dead body? That watch is worth about £40,000 in sentimental value. So, as you can imagine, I was terribly distraught. You know, I went to the funeral, spat on the selfish bastard's coffin, and waited until nightfall, where I dug up his grave and retrieved the watch that was rightfully mine, along with a couple of rings, a silk tie, and his teeth. What? We're trying to get rich, Sweaty, not get into heaven. So yeah, I've probably dove into, you know, a couple of thousand graves in my lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, I did get one of those exploding corpses once, which did make it quite difficult to find her 4-carat diamond vaginal piercing. Still probably found the clip quicker than a straight man could, though. Okay, now I'm just going to rattle off a couple of quick suggestions, not going to go into too much detail, but embezzlement, fraud, extortion, you know, white-collar crime. Did you know it's actually called white-collar crime because it is most often committed by priests? You could convert to Judaism, because then you'll become instantly rich. Not worth the hassle for me, really. You could also take out a life insurance policy on yourself and then kill yourself. Yeah. You could also start a fire in your workplace and then just stay in it until you suffer like 3rd-degree burns, and then you could probably sue the company for like millions of pounds. So I think that's it for this video. What I'd like everyone to do is I'd like everyone to leave a comment down below sharing your best get-rich-quick ideas. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where you'll get to see content such as this silly bitch. Stupid, stupid bitch. The stupid bitch. You silly, stupid, attention-seeking bitch. That stupid little girl. Ugh. Stupid bitch. And as always, don't forget to SUB BBCRDICE. Sorry, no-y. Subscribe. And if you're lucky, superficial people, you may see me again soon. Toodles! What is the sun doing? Seriously. Go away. Fucking hell! Fuck me. Ah! Fucking stupid fucking sun. Like, seriously. It's been overcast all day, and then the minute I'm trying to film, it's like, oh, I'm gonna count out. So it's so annoying. Please leave me alone.